Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a seasonal apple fritter with some apples that I picked up from a local farm near me. So let's get started.
To get things rolling, we're going to start off by making our dough. Here I've mixed my milk and my water together and heated that up to 109 degrees Fahrenheit to help the yeast become more active. Next, we're going to add our yeast and our sugar. The sugar actually helps in this process too, making the yeast become more active. Once your yeast has become very active, usually taking 15 to 20 minutes, we're going to start mixing our dry ingredients together. Here we have our flour. We're going to add our salt, our cinnamon, and our nutmeg to that and give that a quick stir. Then we're going to start mixing our dough in our mixer. After adding all your flour and your dough has started to become shaggy, you're going to add your 1 egg to that and mix that till it combines. Once all your ingredients have fully combined, you're going to want to scrape down the sides of your bowl and then start adding small amounts of your butter till the butter has fully combined into your dough. Once your butter has fully combined to your dough, you're going to want to mix your dough for another 2 to 3 minutes. Following that, we're going to put our dough onto a lightly floured work surface and knead that for a couple minutes until we get a nice, smooth, elastic ball of dough. Once you've gotten a nice, smooth, elastic dough ball, we're going to add that back into our mixing bowl that we've lightly floured, and we're going to let our dough proof for roughly 45 minutes to an hour in a lightly warm place. Today I'm going to be using 2 different types of apples. Here, the green one we have is a mutsu apple, and the red one is a honeycrisp. With those apples, you're going to want to peel, core, and make those into a medium dice. Following that, we're going to add that to a pan that has a half cup of sugar and a quarter cup of water. And we're going to add our 1 vanilla bean that we scraped down to the apple mixture. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of cinnamon to our apple mixture just to make it a little more flavorful. Once most of the liquid from your apple mixture has dissipated in your pan, you're going to now want to add your 3 ounces of bourbon. Once your bourbon in your apple mixture has reduced by about half, we're going to now put our apples in a bowl and set that aside to cool while we start to roll out our dough. Now that your dough mixture has almost doubled in size and become very light and pillowy, we're going to put that onto a lightly floured work surface and flatten that out so we can start making our donuts. Now that we've rolled our dough out into a large square, we're going to be adding our apple mixture to half of the dough and spreading that out evenly so we can start folding our dough together. Once we have folded our dough a couple times, we're going to reform our dough into a ball and add that back to our bowl with some flour to it to proof for a second time, which should roughly take another 30 to 45 minutes. When we're waiting for our dough to rise for a second time, you're going to want to get a heavy duty pot filled with 3/4 of oil to 350 degrees. Once your dough has become doubled in size for the second time, we're going to lightly flour our work surface and start rolling out our donuts. Don't worry if your dough looks like this with some holes in it. We're going to be re-rolling it and chopping it up in a minute. Once you have re-rolled your dough into a log, we're going to be chopping it up into pieces using a large knife or a metal bench scraper, as you see me using here, and then even into smaller pieces, probably about 1 inch by inch. This might look strange, but this is what gives the fritter its classic look. Now that you've cut up all your dough, you're going to heavily flour all the little pieces, which makes the next process work a little bit easier. We're going to form the dough back into a ball and actually finally get our donuts formed. Once you have rolled your dough back into a ball, we're going to reform a log and actually start cutting our donuts. Here I'm going to get about 12 large donuts. You can actually cut them smaller if you want more donuts. Once you've cut your donuts into the shape that you like, you're going to give them a little flatten, and we're going to now start frying. Now when frying our donuts, do not overcrowd your pot, otherwise your oil will cool down dramatically and you will not get the coloring we need for these amazing fritters. Now that we're starting to fry our donuts, we can make our glaze. Here I have 1 cup of icing sugar and a 1/4 cup of milk. We're going to give that a quick stir, making sure our sugar has completely dissolved. Here we have our fritters fully cooked, having a nice deep dark golden crust on the outside. You want that, otherwise the center of your fritters will not be fully cooked. And here's our final step. While your fritters are still warm, we're going to dunk those into our glaze and put them in a wire rack to let them cool so that our glaze gets nice and hard on the outside of the donut and not soggy. And there you go, folks. An awesome apple fritter recipe, perfect for this autumn weather. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave me a like and a comment in the section below, and have a nice day.